touch, the shining touch, just not a human touch. Oh yeah, touch, your own little touch. You'd like a touch, just not a human touch. Oh yeah, touch, hard touch, you like a touch. It's just a human touch, touch, clean hard touch. You like a touch. Oh, la la la, la la, la la, la la. Show your regret, you're not to say the things you're given, not to blame for your name, money. Please, let's not talk about privilege. 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 Oh yeah, what you gonna do when you're in touch? You got to touch, earn a touch. It's not a human touch, I give you a touch. Say sweet touch, sweet little touch, another human touch, yeah, yeah. Good touch, it's not a touch, just not a human touch, oh yeah, touch, good touch, it's like a touch.
Please center with me as I share Judson's land acknowledgement. Place is more than just a piece of land. It is a piece of who we are. For too long, we have associated this place where Judson Church sits with our European American roots, forgetting the people who called this place home for centuries before us. Minnesota Makoche, land where the waters reflect the sky, and specifically this part of the Twin Cities is the ancestral home of the Dakota Wapakute people. It is home to their creation story. It is where they hunted, fished, harvested, and cared for the land, raised families, celebrated life in community, and laid their loved ones to rest. We acknowledge that we, the people, our ancestors and governments, forcibly removed the Wapakute from their ancestral lands through relocation, warfare, execution, imprisonment in concentration camps, starvation, disease, and forced assimilation. Treaties were made and subsequently broke by us. We remember and lament the history of this land. Today we acknowledge and appreciate our Dakota, Anishinaabe, and other indigenous peoples as neighbors and fellow citizens. We commit to do better by our neighbors, to stand with them, and to learn from them as we seek to create a community that sees the Creator's face in everything. Well, good morning and welcome to Judson Memorial Baptist Church. My name is Polly Schramm, and this is a place where you can bring your hopes, bring your doubts, and feed your soul. This is the third Sunday of July, and I hope you are all enjoying your summer as it just whizzes by us amazingly. Travis, our pastor, has taken some time to study at the Duke Divinity School. He'll be back next week. But we are in good hands. Dogleg will be providing more special music, and I hope they explain what that name means. That group consists of Randy Baker, Bruce Elliott, Coltrane and Van Johnson, and Scott Simpson. Randy will be sharing a personal reflection. Deidre Moore will help us center for prayer. And Wayne Urbaniak will be sharing a homily entitled, Look Out, Look Up, Celebrate. As Travis would say, all good stuff. I just have a few more words of welcome for you. Whoever you are, wherever you are from, whomever you love, whatever it is you have done, you are welcome here. You are welcome to this time, this space, this moment that we carve out of often busy and chaotic weeks. You are welcome to this time for collective breath, for words, for music, for prayers, and for us to simply worship, exist here together. So let us join in worship this morning. Please stand as you are able and join us in our opening hymn, number 475, God's Eye is on the Sparrow.
Thank
This is a song about the end of the world, but it's really not a serious song. Kind of a funny song about the end of the world. When I was supposed to be working on the rock opera, of course I get songs that I can't use in the play. Same thing in college when I had a paper due. I had to I'd write 3 songs that night instead of studying. But here we are. This song is called "Ship Goes Down." Right? Okay. Ship goes down. Ship goes down. Ship goes down. Fire on the starboard side. Fire in the hold. Fire's raging everywhere. Burning out of control. When the ship goes down, then the ship goes down. Got a packet of Lucky Strikes rolled up in my sleeve. Got a roll to fill my shot that you wouldn't believe. Heart beating, she ducks for cover. The hunter she can't see. Mother Nature's still on the run in 2023. And when my plane goes down, see you on the ground. Ship goes down. Ship goes down. Ship goes down. Come on, sugar. Ship goes down. I can blame it on you. You can blame it on me. We can blame it on Amazon for shipping for free. We're all watching the game now from the biosphere. Sending rockets to Mars, you know, with optimistic landing gear. When the ship goes down, then the ship goes down. When the ship goes down, see you on the ground. Ship goes down. Ship goes down. Ship goes down. Come on, darling. Ship goes down. Oh, tell the children. Ship goes down. I wanna hear you say, ship goes down. Come on, sugar. Ship goes down. Come on, baby. Ship goes down.
I don't know about you, but I really needed to hear The Piece of Wild Things by Wendell Berry this week. It's our first lesson. When despair for the world grows in me and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
Good morning. I'm Randy Baker. For those of you who are new to Judson, my wife Sarah and I spend winters in Mexico, which is why I may not know you, and I've already met you many times. But we've been coming to Judson for over 30 years, and be careful because that can happen to you. So, Doug Weatherhead and I are working on a new original rock opera under the working title, The Trial of Henry the Navigator. It's a play about the origins of racism. Henry the Navigator, a 15th century Portuguese prince, has been accused of inventing race to justify a new kind of slavery, and this is his trial. It's a nice cheery topic, sure to be fun for all ages. So if you've been around for 18 years or more, you probably remember My Green Eyes. That was the first rock opera that Doug and I wrote. And we, Judson, here, put it up in the sanctuary back in February 2006. Is that right? Yeah. Now, we are not looking to repeat what we did 18 years ago. It almost killed a few of us. And we're much older now, so it knocked the love of music out of me for 15 years. So, but we are back, and we are going to put up a workshop of the new musical on Tuesday, October 29th, so mark your calendar, right here in the sanctuary. There'll be announcements. Our own Coltrane Johnson will be directing. There will be no staging or choreography, just 9 singers lined up with open books on music stands singing through the play. We will invite a few special guests from the local music theater community to give us feedback and gauge their interest in putting up a fully staged production at some date in the future. The workshop will be open to the public in case you're curious. Donations at the door will go to pay the singers first, and any surplus will go to the Judson reparations budget. 2 months before the workshop, on Tuesday, August 7th, also right here, we will be auditioning singers. We're looking for tenors, baritones, altos, and mezzo-sopranos. Let us know if you'd like to audition. Right now, we are also looking for a music director, someone who can teach the singers their lead and harmony parts by ear without written scores, if there is such a person out there. Let us know if you or someone you know might like to try out for that position of music director. I'm really excited about this workshop. I'm grateful to all of you for your support, for graciously making the sanctuary available to our project, and to those of you who will be able to attend the workshop in October. Right now, we're going to give you a sneak preview of one of the songs from the rock opera. This song is called Papal Bull. For those of you who didn't go to seminary, a papal bull is an edict published by a pope. Why they call it a bull, I can only guess. The series of 15th century papal bulls referenced in this song, including Dum Diversas, which translates roughly to until different, which is a real commitment, you know. Until further notice, I don't know. Make up what we call today the doctrine of discovery, which has been getting some press, the doctrine of discovery. This is the doctrine that basically gave the moral backing that was given to the Crusades to European colonialism.
In this scene, Henry is exchanging letters with a series of popes who die one after another. The pope who finally responds is Pope Nicholas V. I picture on one side of the stage Henry pacing back and forth behind his scribe dictating his letters, and on the other side of the stage, Pope Nicholas V pacing behind his scribe dictating letters. But I'm not the director, Coltrane is, so forget I said that. Also, Scotty wanted me to make it really clear that we do not share the views or opinions of either of these characters. These are the bad guys. I'll be singing the part of Henry the Navigator, and Van will be singing the part of Pope Nicholas V. We hope you enjoy it.
Sorry, almost there.
Pope Nicholas V needs a few minutes.
All right, wait.
Take a letter to Pope Martin V. Start with flowery, gracious words, and then thank him for the gift he gave my father, King John the First. People more than gave him more hope for the cause. Moral rights to all the lands he might win from the moon on their shores. Take a letter to Pope Eugenius IV. Start with flowery, gracious words, and then thank him, yes, of course, for absolute forgiveness for the sins we commit. A people born that gives us moral support for the cause. Forgive us every single thing we hope to do to the most on their shores.
Take a letter to Prince Henry. Start with flowery, gracious praise. Turn to thank him and say please for the baby he's on the raise. Military order of Christ backing up my cause. Keep Constantinople away from Lord like my own.
Take a letter to Pope Nicholas V. We're at your service, friar and knight. Without a quid pro quo, it's a gift to put us on the side of right. The people born and gives us morals and hope for the cause. To conquer, slay every African, pagan and more on their shores. 1, 2, 3. Doctrine of discovery.
the doctrine of discovery.
People born from the Lord, open and calling.
This new crusade against the pagans
And the most like my fight my war.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your work, Randy. That's awesome. And I loved my green eyes. As we hear the thunder out there, let's take a moment to just feel our feet on the ground, the seat under holding us up. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes if you're comfortable, or soften them. Center on your breath. I'd like to read How Good It Is, How Good to Center Down by Howard Thurman. So just focus on the words and the rain. How good it is to center down, to sit quietly and see oneself pass by. The streets of our minds seethe with endless traffic. Our spirits resound with clashings, with noisy silences, while something deep within hungers and thirsts for the still moment and the resting lull. With full intensity we seek, ere the quiet passes, a fresh sense of order in our living. A direction, a strong, sure purpose that will structure our confusion and bring meaning to our chaos. We look at ourselves in this waiting moment, the kinds of people we are. The questions persist. What are we doing with our lives? What are the motives that order our days? What is the end of our doings? Where are we trying to go? Where do we put the emphasis, and where are our values focused? For what end do we make sacrifices? Where is my treasure? And what do I love most in life? What do I hate most in life? And to what am I true? Over and over, the questions beat in upon the waiting moment. As we listen, floating up through all the jangling echoes of our turbulence, a sound of another kind, a deeper note which only the stillness of the heart makes clear. It moves directly to the core of our being. Our questions are answered. Our spirits refreshed.
And we move back into the traffic of our daily round with the peace of the eternal in our step. How good it is to center down. So in the quiet, go ahead and we'll do our usual practice of writing down our prayers and bringing them forward and placing them in the bowl for reading. And if you want to keep one confidential, place it in the smaller bowl. Please deliver me from the robber of joy in my life, comparing myself with others. What a sensory experience outside for today's worship service. Blessings to dear Deb as she finally let go and is in peace, singing the Beatles.
I'm grateful for the fun I had yesterday with my brothers, sisters, nieces, and for the legacy of love we're learning from the next generation. Prayers for a safe and fruitful time for a granddaughter spending the summer in Japan. Prayers for the family of Jean McCusick. Prayers for Barb Balcom and the family as they grieve the loss of David and Laverne.
At the Judson auction, I snared a great drum lesson, and that's hard to beat. High hats off to Scott Simpson, the perfect symbol of a passionate, patient teacher. Prayers for families this week who lost their jobs and are looking at a new normal. Happy birthday to Carolyn, and thanks for the amazing Crone Carnival yesterday.
I am thankful for a good report on my 6-month checkup. Prayers for my daughter and community who lost a friend to suicide yesterday. May they feel God's presence at this time. The Fellowship of American Baptist Musicians Conference held at Green Lake, Wisconsin last week. So wonderful.
Grateful for Jean Bodine McCusick's life and the celebration to honor her yesterday. I'm thankful for electricity and indoor plumbing. Me too. Let us pray for humanity to bring peace and cooperation to planet Earth. And so now please join us in our response to our prayers. May God hear our prayers today.
I've been enjoying the bumper sticker theology theme of this summer, and after being asked to be guest preacher today, I asked Travis, should I continue that the week that I preach, the bumper sticker theology? Well, Travis said, yeah, well, you don't have to. Whatever you want to do is fine. So I translated that Travis type of speaking into, yes, please continue it. When I got back home and started working on my homily, I realized I should have asked Travis 2 more questions. One of them would be, what about additional bumper stickers explaining the original bumper sticker? bumper sticker, explanation, explanation. Is that okay? Second one is, how big a bumper are we talking about? Well, without more guidance, I was kind of on my own. So I worked on coming up with some bumper stickers. Here's the first one. The top one says, Judson Baptist Church. Then the next line says, we're American Baptist, not Southern Baptist. Third one says, hospitality, social justice, deep spirituality, and joy. And the one at the bottom, in reference to our commitment to the environment and to our pastor, the peddling pastor, the bottom one says, sorry I'm driving instead of biking. Well, that one's about our church, and usually bumper stickers are a little bit more personal. They describe something about the driver. So I thought, well, what can I describe? And I decided to focus on my relationship with the Bible. So I came up with this. A biblical cherry picker, a good thing. Biblical cherry picker, a good thing. Well, a little background about that. I grew up in the Berean Bible Students Church of Cicero, Illinois. It's now located in Lombard, Illinois. We're still connected, Kathy and I, to that church. And in fact, we'll be there on August 25th. Our niece Tracy and her husband David are here from that church today, visiting for the weekend and helping their daughter move to a different apartment. In that church, I developed some knowledge of Scripture and a deep, deep appreciation for the Bible. And I realized as I became an adult that I evolved into a biblical cherry picker. And I base it on 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Now to me, prove all things, hold fast that which is good also implies very strongly, let go of the stuff that's not so good. So I became a biblical cherry picker, a good thing. That brings us to a story this morning of 2 Kings 6, one of my favorite Old Testament chapters. I cherry-picked this story out of what's called the historical books of the Old Testament, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Those 6 books are full of violence and wars and brutality. And out of that violence and wars and brutality arises a beautiful chapter in 2 Kings 6. A chapter of an extraordinary story of vision, humor, creativity, mercy, and grace. And as always, when I approach especially Old Testament stories, I'm reminded of what the old Native American storyteller used to say every time before he started a story. He'd say, I don't know if this is what happened, but I know that the story is true.
2 Kings 6, 8 through 15. Once, when the king of Aram was at war with Israel, he took counsel with his officers. He said, at such and such a place shall be my camp. But the man of God sent word to the king of Israel, take care not to pass this place because the Arameans are going down there. The king of Israel sent word to the place of which the man of God spoke. More than once or twice he warned of such a place so that it was on alert. The mind of the king of Aram was greatly perturbed because of this. He called to his officers and said to them, now tell me, who among us sides with the king of Israel? Then one of the officers said, no one, my lord king. It is Elijah, the prophet of Israel, who tells the king of Israel the words that you speak in your bedchamber. He said, go and find him, tell him where I am, and then we will seize him. He was told, he is in Dothan. So he sent horses and chariots there and a great army. They came by night and surrounded the city. When the attendant of the man God rose early in the morning and went out, an army with horses and chariots was all around the city, His servant said, "Alas, master, what shall we do?"
Well, that's part one. Our topic for our title for our bumper sticker for this morning is Look Out, Look Up, Celebrate. And so this is part one, the look out part, or I should say, look out! Did you ever have one of those mornings where you woke up and you realize it's going to be a bad day? Maybe a pipe broke and it's flooding your basement, or maybe you glanced at the morning newspaper and realized the national election and the next 4 years might be going downhill fast. But none of that is as bad as what Elisha's servant experiences the morning that he wakes up, puts on the coffee, opens up the front door to get the morning newspaper, looks out and sees the Aramean army surrounding him and the whole town, in fact. And so for that servant, it's look out, look out. The servant quickly puts two and two together and concludes, we're screwed. He knows the Arameans and Israelites are at war. He knows that Israel has had a decided advantage lately because Elisha the prophet has been correctly predicting the Arameans' next moves. He knows that they've been passing the intel on to the king of Israel. In fact, the servant himself has been taking the messages to the king of Israel. And he knows that the Aramean king has been perturbed, greatly perturbed. And now looking out that morning, he realizes that the Aramean king has figured it out, that he and Elisha are the ones that are causing all the trouble. So the servant quickly goes through his checklist of options. He's got three options. The first one is go back to bed, pull the covers over, and go into denial. Personally, I like that one a lot. I use it quite often. However, I find it's not a long-term solution to the problem. Second option for the servant is run for it, save yourself. Probably peeks out the window and thinks about that and realizes that's not going to work, they're all around me. So he settles on the third option. Third option is share the worry. Share the worry. Share the worry with someone you trust, with somebody that has more wisdom and more experience than you. We do that here at Judson, don't we? We share our worries. We share our worries with God and with one another. And we share our gratitude with one another. Our prayer intentions that we just did are a wonderful example of that. Sharing our worries, sharing our gratitude. Another example is what Beth Waterhouse calls the sacred conversations that we have informally with one another. Bring your hopes, bring your doubts, feed your soul. That's on the sign outside, that's on our bulletin. And I add to that for Judson, bring your worries, bring your fears, share them with other people who care. That's what the servant does. Wake up, Elisha. Wake up, Elisha. I'm really worried. Alas, master, what shall we do?
When an attendant of the man of God rose early in the morning and went out, an army with horses and chariots were all around the city. His servant said, "Alas, master, what shall we do?" He replied, "Do not be afraid, for there are more with us than there are with them." Then Elijah prayed, and, "O Lord, please open his eyes that he may see." So the Lord opened the eyes of the servant, and he saw the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha.
So Elisha, facing the same situation that morning, stays calm, drinks his coffee, glances out the window, shrugs. He knows what's out there. Elisha knows the Arameans are out there. But he also knows what's beyond eye level and above eye level. He knows there's a protective ring of chariots of fire and horses surrounding them. Hebrews 12:1 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight." One of my New Year's resolutions this year is look up in the sky at least 3 times per day. So I've been doing that intentionally. And I have to confess that I do not see chariots of fire and horses, but I do feel a greater perspective, a calming beyond the troubles of the day. And I find when I come here that I don't have to look up to the sky, I can just look around me. I have you. a great cloud of witnesses. People living Christ-like lives of hospitality, social justice, deep spirituality, and joy. So the servant has shared his worry with Elisha, and Elisha has shared his greater wisdom, his greater experience. Elisha has shared his vision. And Elisha prays that the servant's eyes will be opened, and they are. And the servant looks out and still sees the Aramean army. But now he also looks up, and he sees the greater reality beyond all the trouble.
When the Arameans came down against him, Elisha prayed to the Lord and said, "Strike this people, please, with blindness." So he struck them with blindness, as Elisha had asked. Elisha said to them, "This is not the way, this is not the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek." And he led them to Samaria. As soon as they entered Samaria, Elijah said, "O Lord, open the eyes of the men so that they can see." The Lord opened their eyes, and they saw that they were inside Samaria. Where the king of Israel saw them, he said to Elijah, "Father, shall I kill them? Should I kill them?" He answered, "No. Did you not capture with your sword and your bow those whom you wanted to kill? Set food and water before them so that they may eat and drink, and let them be gone to their master." So he prepared for them a great feast. After they ate and drank, he sent to them on their way, and they went to their master. And the Arameans no longer came raiding into the land of Israel.
Well, part 3 of our bumper sticker. First of all, it's look out, look up, and now celebrate. The story takes a few interesting turns. The Aramean army has closed in that morning on Elisha and his servant. Elisha, interestingly enough, does not call down the chariots of fire and the horses that are surrounding him. Rather, he prays that God will take away the eyesight of the Aramean army. So suddenly this has become a story of vision, of seeing and of not seeing. Then Elisha kind of shows his sense of humor. He walks out of his cabin and he talks to all the blind people that are in front of him, the enemy army, and he says, "I'll lead you to the one you're looking for." Of course, they're looking for him, but they can't see him. So they have no options. They can't see anything. They follow him, and Elisha leads the army to the Israelite king and the Israelite army. And then when they're in the middle of that, Elisha prays that the Aramean army's eyes will be open, and they are, and suddenly the table is turned, because the Aramean army, for them, it's become, look out. The Israelite king asks Elisha, "What now? Shall we kill them?" And here, interestingly enough, Elisha extends mercy and grace. You know, in any other books of those 6 historical books of the Old Testament, the answer would have been, yes, kill them, wipe them out. But here Elisha extends mercy and grace and gives us a glimpse of Jesus' gospel, Jesus' good news, the peace and the grace and the love that Jesus brings. And Elisha goes even further. He says to the king of Israel, "Prepare food and drink, prepare a feast, practice hospitality." Elisha would fit well in Judson, hospitality, joy. I have another resolution for my new year, and that is to do something fun at least once a week. Do something fun at least once a week. And I'm trying to have that fulfill my goal of having less angst and more joy in my life. So Elisha directs the king, and the king follows the directions to prepare a great feast, a party, a celebration. And the two armies sit down with each other, and they're eating, and they're celebrating, they're having a party. And at the end of that day, they must have all gone their way, and there was peace in the land of Israel. And they must have all been amazed at the very quirky way that day turned out. And for the servant, what started out as the worst possible imaginable day has been transformed into a party and a celebration. Maybe there's one final verse in the story. Maybe it was added sometime later, maybe it was lost over the centuries. And if so, that verse would read, "And the servant of Elisha had a bumper sticker made, which he attached to the back of Elisha's chariot. And the bumper sticker read, 'Look out, look up, celebrate.'" We'll move to announcements now. Announcements already been mentioned. Gina Kusek's memorial yesterday down in Fellowship Hall was wonderful, a great celebration of her life. The Crone Carnival went very well, so that's a blessing also. Upcoming announcements, please see your bulletin and look over those. I won't go through them except to mention, as Polly said, next Sunday, Travis will be back. He's coming back in town Tuesday. And also next Sunday, Kristen Gustafson, who lives in Seattle, Washington, will be in town and giving a personal reflection. August 4th is Sundays on Sunday after the service in the outside arcade. They'll be serving Sundays. And that's all the announcements I'll mention at this point. Again, check your bulletin, and we'll move to the call of offering. Thank you for your support of Judson. There's many ways that you support Judson through your work, through your time, through your energy, and financially. And we appreciate that. And please stay seated while we sing hymn 438 and ask the ushers to come forward to receive the offering this morning. had a lot to take in today. The music of Dog Lake, thank you very much. I was amazed by people that not only can sing and play instruments, but compose music and transfer that composition into some beautiful messages. So thank you very much. Deidre and Polly receiving our prayer intentions, thank you very much, and sharing those with all of us and with the Lord. The reading that Polly read earlier, the Peace of Wild Things, speaks to nature's ability to refresh and restore us. And I hope that happens with all of us this week. And the wonderful story of Elisha, his servant, the two kings, the two armies, mountains full of chariots of fire and horses. Isaiah 55:12 is our final blessing today. It kind of puts it all together. May you go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Amen.
Play it, kid, will you?